What's up, gang? How y'all doing? We outside with it today. Hopefully the buggies don't get to me too much, but if they do, I'm gonna take my butt right back on inside. But nonetheless, was cracking. Welcome to the Inside Perspective. Um, this perspective that we're gonna get today, this perspective that we're going to give today, is going along the lines of sex, the nasty time, the freaky nasty time. And I remember I put the questions up on Instagram. A lot of them encompassing on just like your thought process during sex and foreplay before sex. What was your best sexual experience and why? Things of that nature. And so to answer some of those questions for me, my best sexual experience as of recent has been probably the last time I had sex because I've continuously challenged myself to grow in different ways. Um, one of those ways within sex, and I'm going to be jumping in and out of topics because if y'all haven't realized that that's who and how I am yet, welcome. And so what I've realized is, I'm gonna put y'all somewhere. Anywho, I have to be mentally entertained in order to give the inner freak that I know I have. Can't believe I'm talking like this. But you have to stimulate me mentally. And whenever I say that, and I was watching a TikTok video about how there's two different ways of arousal. And one of them being, sorry, my dog, one of them being like a call and response type of thing. So, like if your partner says something that would initiate you to walk over to them, that's like, that'll do it for you. But the other type of arousal was uh, spontaneous. So like I could just your partner can just come up and kind of start touching on you, and you are already ready to go. Nothing wrong with either one, but what I've realized is that I need both. I would. I have found that whenever I get both prior to a sexual encounter, um, it really intensifies the feeling within it. And the whole point of sex is to feel as good as you can potentially feel, you and your partner both of that is important. um so yeah, that's been a part of it. Another part is whenever I find myself like trailing off during sex, because for me and my overthinkers, and that was something else that I talked about. Can you stay present during sex? Some people had mentioned that it was a little difficult to, because they overthink. And my overthinking comes most whenever I'm overstimulated. And sometimes during sex, I can very easily get overstimulated if I'm not brought into the moment from my partner. So things that I've done is for one, I've communicated with my partner. I tell them like, hey, or I'll tap them. So I've come up with like signs and things within sex. So it's not like me saying in the middle of us, trying to do the freaky nasty, like, my brain's thinking about work or what I'm gonna eat or what I didn't eat or when's the last time I did eat, and like, oh, you're trying to now put something inside me. Wait, hold on. You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, um, I'll give my partner two taps on anywhere of their being just so they understand that, and that's me saying like, hey, I need to be reconnected. And I felt like it was important for us to have the conversation prior to, so that it isn't them taking it personally on some like, yeah, you're not doing it good enough for me, so tap tap goodbye. It's more of just like what the conversation consisted of was, I'm an overthinker. I can easily get distracted. Pretty sure I have ADHD. But we'll get that diagnosed later on. So what helps me is that if I give you two taps, I think maybe you need to come give me some kisses, or you need to reconnect with me in a way that works best for you and your partner at the time. Because it's ever changing too. Like one thing that used to get you back connected may not work the next time, and that's what I figured out for myself is that there was, the small kisses that would get me back, but now that doesn't work anymore. It's almost like my brain was like, ha ha, we got adapted to that. Now what, bitch? There's some times where can't believe I'm gonna say this, a good smack, like that really kicks my mind back up into high gear. And I kind of recall that I'm back in this space. And then one of the biggest things that I had to do was really self affirming, telling myself that I'm allowed to be in this space. I am allowed to enjoy pleasure. I am allowed to give pleasure. Because for so long, I punished myself for the fact that I enjoyed sex, and then even more so, who was I enjoying sex with? When I started having sex with women, it was a really cognitive dissonance moment for me because that wasn't something that I was allowed to be doing or supposed to be doing. So I would have those moments during sex with women, which would like suck because and I'm not present, and then I'm also punishing myself, making myself feel even more uncomfortable in one of my most vulnerable states. And then I also wasn't able to communicate that to my partner. So they felt very I don't know how they felt truthfully. I should have had more conversations with them, but I'm assuming that they felt very disregarded, and not needed and uncomfortable themselves, because then after a while they kind of felt like, well, am I forcing you to like be here and do this right now? Do you want to just talk? And it's like, no, I want to do this and I want to be here right now, but I had to get, like, it didn't matter how much they affirmed me. I had to truly tell myself I am allowed to be in this space with this person that I enjoy, that I feel safe with, um, and indulge in some freaky nasty things if I so choose. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Once I, and it took practice, I had to do this with multiple partners. It wasn't just like with one person. That's the other thing my partner didn't really understand at the time, is that they thought it was a them thing. I'm like, no, baby, this is a me thing. I'm learning, I'm figuring out all these new things, since, I also shared that I was recovering from the sexual addiction that I had already knew, but then discovered and worked on. And now, at a very beginning phase of reintroducing myself into sex, that almost everything that I'm learning right now is brand flipping new. And it's fun because it's new. But it can also be a bit anxiety provoking because it's new. um, but what I found is that the more that I try new stuff, and then even have my partner try new things with me, and we're both kind of, um, excited but nervous about it. There's like a particular kind of nervous that's really more so based on excitement instead of an anxiety, that I have found to transfer that energy into horniness. If it's not, I mean, the horniness is probably already there, but the arousal of it all really helps, and then especially even within the moment. Um, yeah, it's definitely been a journey though for me. Things have not been easy. I've been the person to where I've told people like, no, I don't want to do this, and I've walked out the room, and I had to really learn how to get in touch with myself, um, because whenever I was going to hook up with somebody or going to play around with somebody, sometimes it wasn't coming out of the best place. Like maybe I actually wasn't horny, maybe I was bored, maybe I was hungry. And whenever I continuously put myself in those predicaments, it really just made me feel all around. Sorry, I thought I heard something flying around me, but it really made me overall uncomfortable with myself, because I'm like, okay, how am I using my body? In what ways am I using my body, and for what reason? Um, I'm a very question based person. I come up with my own questions in my dome and I answer them to myself. I'm telling y'all, I'm full blown conversations in my mind. But what's not fun is having those full blown conversations while somebody's trying to give you some head. It just does not work out too well. I need some water. But giving myself the time and the space independently to rediscover sex changed my sex life. And that's why I'm like a big proponent of masturbation, because you have to figure out what you like in order to tell somebody else that. So I spent a good sum of time figuring out what I liked, figuring out what I didn't like. I would go to sex stores and people would be like, the people that work there, is there anything you're looking for? Anything, that you got going on? And I'd be like, I'd talk to them, which was like low key awkward as fuck. But like, I had to, I had to do it. I wanted to do it. I had to do it. I had to do it. Yeah, so like, I was sitting here talking to this person in the middle of Adult Mart about how I want to start trying, I'm not sure I'm finna let y'all in all of my business like that, but just know that it was something that was a bit involved into like the BDSM rope play type thing, and so I had a lot of questions. And shout out to this person because they really sat down with me and talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Excuse me, Mr. Fly. Thank you. Talk to me about anything I want to talk about. Never once did I feel judged. Um, we laughed a bunch of times because I just am an awkward bitch sometimes, but like I was genuinely curious about a lot of the things. Like we sat there and talked about damn near every single toy inside that store. Every toy, every candle wax, every dildo, shape, size, girth, like butt plugs, everything. Because I just was like, let me learn as much as I can, and then I can really start to say like, oh, I want to indulge in that, or like, oh, I want to try this. So I feel like we really need not my nose. We really need to allow ourselves the space to be open to trying new things, without judgment. And people that are judging you, just know that their sex is ass. Because anybody that sees somebody else trying to get deeper into their sex game or learn more about sex, and they're like, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. They're, well, for one, a non-judgmental person, and two, probably having great sex because they know the more that you explore, the more fun that it is. But people that are judging you and are making you feel weird for liking something, telling you that you're now gay because you like a certain type of stimulation, stay away from them. Literally, stay away from them. They're unhappy. Anybody who judges you is unhappy with themselves. And like I said, they're having boring sex. And we need to have good energy and good aura around us. So maybe you should definitely let them go to the side. Um, but this is probably the last time I'm gonna record something outside like this because these bugs is eating my ass up. But I needed to get outside because I had a really anxiety ridden day. Um, but nonetheless, the more that I journey myself into sex and the different type of sexual pleasures that come with it, I'll definitely do a lot more of these episodes. I think right now I'm beginning to learn what I'm comfortable in sharing and what I'm not comfortable in sharing, and also how vulgar I would like for these episodes to get, because I don't know, I'm just like I when I tell y'all I'm learning as I do this, like I may post this and then 3 days later do something that is just like me breaking down how to eat some coochie. I don't know, but I'm learning every day what I want to do and how I want to do it, and then I can do it when I want. And that's also the great thing about sex. Whenever you can do it when you want, mm. And them little quickies, oh Lord, quickies are fun. Quickies are fun. I feel like the thing that I like most about quickies and low key about like almost getting caught. Now, don't get arrested, but like almost getting caught does it for me. It's like the quickness of everything happening all at once, the passion, the urge, the heavy breathing, and they're sounding like blow dryers and shit. It's just something about it that is really exciting. So what I say is I challenge you to find something that really, really excites you, journal about it, write about it, express about it in one way, shape, or form, but do it by yourself. Um, I write erotica. Maybe I'll drop one of my stories on Instagram if it doesn't flag it, because like I said, I can get very vulgar. But I feel like it's important to really dive into your fantasies and find out what your kink might be. And if even if you don't want to label it as a kink, it could just be something that you like. But don't be ashamed of it. Write about it, unpack it. If it's healthy for you, indulge in it. Indulge in it. Um, but yeah, we gonna see. I like talking about sex, but again, I just want to make sure that as I'm doing this, I like to tiptoe myself before I jump into the deep end. So maybe I'll do like a sex talk after dark or something. Who knows? But I would like to have a much more in depth conversation when it comes to things. So let me know if y'all have like specific questions that y'all want me to answer. Like, do y'all want my version of how you need to go about eating some coochie, or I guess doing the other thing, sucking peen. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not my favorite thing to do. But that's why I have sex with women. Nonetheless, this isn't totally about me right now. But yeah, let me know what y'all want, what y'all trying to get at. Do we want to do a triple X? Because I can get triple X, but we'll see. But Michelle just came out here, so I'm gonna talk to y'all later.